From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The school board for the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District has approved a recommended budget for the 2013-2014 school year.
That's right. The recommended budget represents work compiled by the school district administration, the school board, and a volunteer citizens budget review committee. The budget restores class size levels to this year's level, but also removes 8 support staff positions and reduces travel and equipment budgets. Before the board meeting yesterday, Superintendent Pete Lewis told the News Center the budget will change depending on funding from the borough and the state.
We're looking at making some budget cuts, and we've also got anticipated revenue in the budget, and we haven't received word that that's going to come through either from the legislature or the borough, so we're looking to pass a budget tonight, and then if that revenue doesn't come through, we'll be making additional cuts later on in the school year, probably around the middle of April, once we see what happens with the legislature and with the borough.
Also at last night's meeting, board members called an executive session to further discuss impending contract negotiations with the Fairbanks Education Association. The 2-year contract agreement that was hammered out last year will expire at the end of June. Teachers worked without a contract in place the previous year, which is why negotiations will take place this spring.
An Alaska House panel today discussed a bill that would require public school teachers to work a couple more years before they could acquire tenure rights. House Bill 162 by Representative Tammy Wilson says the teachers must be employed in the same district continuously for 5 full school years or accept a teacher contract for 6 consecutive school years to be eligible for tenure. Under current law, teachers who work for three continuous years can get tenure. Wilson said her bill brings Alaska one step closer to ensuring a quality teacher in every classroom.
Though tenure doesn't guarantee lifetime employment, it does make firing teachers a difficult and costly process, one that involves the union, the school board, the principal, the judicial system, and thousands of dollars in legal fees. In most states, a tenured teacher can't be dismissed until charges are filed and months of evaluations, hearings, and appeals have occurred.
Alaska's unemployment rate has been lower than the national rate for 51 straight months. That's the longest stretch since unemployment has been officially counted in Alaska. The state's rate in February was 6.5%. That is well below the national average of 7.7%. The Fairbanks North Star Borough stood at 6.4%. That's down from 7.1% in January. The North Slope Borough had the lowest rate at 4.8%. The highest in the state was Hoonah-Angoon census area at 25.6%.
Gold miners who have been fighting the federal government for years over access to their mining claims in the 40-mile region gained a powerful ally this week. The state Wednesday filed a lawsuit against the federal government claiming ownership of multiple trail rights of way around the Taylor Highway community of Chicken. Those trails have traditionally been used by miners to access their claims, but have been restricted in recent years by the Bureau of Land Management.
The city of Valdez is stepping up the fight for a natural gas pipeline that will lead to tidewater in their community. The town will spend up to $900,000 to defeat a bill in the state legislature that backs another pipeline project. HB 4 is legislation for a smaller in-state gas line that would not lead to Valdez. Now, City Manager John Hosey says a large-scale project is best for the entire state, and they are simply supporting the better project.
All right, well, when we come back, it's time to bowl for kids' sake.
And we take a visit to the Interior Alaska Builders Association Home Show. Those stories next. Stay with us.
This edition of the Fairbanks Evening News is brought to you by Northland Hearing Services. Better hearing with a human touch. Kendall Auto of Fairbanks. And by Nissan. Innovation that excites. And by Spadard Builder Supply.
Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. Continuing, the lawyer for Musher, Paige Drobny, plans to sue people for the ethical treatment of animals, or commonly known as PETA, unless PETA retracts public statements blaming Drobny for the death of her dog. Drobny's dog, Dorado, died after being removed from the Iditarod. He was buried in the snow by extreme winds at a checkpoint and was suffocated. Drobny left the dog in the care of Iditarod representatives and continued the race. Drobny's lawyer seeks a retraction from PETA for unsupported accusations that his client be criminally prosecuted for her dog's death. A PETA spokeswoman said the organization is, quote, calling for those held responsible for Dorado's death to be appropriately charged, end quote.
A 21-year-old Pennsylvania man convicted of harassing Sarah Palin's Alaska lawyers has been sentenced to 2 years in prison for a probation violation. Sean Christie received credit for time already served. His sentence also included 1 year supervised release on a guilty plea of running from federal authorities in Pennsylvania. Christie was arrested in November for leaving a community re-entry facility before completing his 6-month term there. Christie was sentenced last year to 5 years probation after he and his father pleaded guilty to making harassing phone calls to Palin's attorneys. The Christies were accused of threatening the former Alaska governor and 2008 vice presidential candidate and her attorneys.
One North Pole man hit the jackpot, literally. 56-year-old James Scholes won the $1 million jackpot lottery in Georgia, along with his 2 friends, Kenneth Wilson and Sanford Watson, both residents of Georgia. The 3 friends made a pact years ago to share any large winnings, and they are doing just that. Picking the 5 winning numbers, 3, 7, 21, 44, and 53, the trio beat the odds. Scholes, a special education paraprofessional at North Pole High School, said he plans to bring home a Georgia honey-baked ham, smoked turkey, and some barbecue sauce.
The new arena at the University of Alaska Anchorage will be called the Alaska Airlines Center. University officials announced the name yesterday afternoon. In return for the naming rights, the airline has pledged to donate $6.3 million to the university over 10 years, including $1 million scholarship endowment. But the bulk of the money will help UAA fly athletes to away contests. The 5,600-seat, $109 million arena is scheduled to open in the fall of 2014.
This weekend, folks will be knocking down pins and making a difference. It's Big Brothers Big Sisters annual fundraiser, Bowl for Kids' Sake. The money they raise supports programs around the state, and this year the goal is to do better than last year. There are different ways bowlers can raise money. Some gather donations while others pledge money based on their scores. Although Big Brothers Big Sisters consists of many volunteers, this is the biggest fundraiser to help support their program.
All the money goes directly into support our program. There's the misperception that you're a volunteer organization because, you know, we have Big Brothers Big Sisters that volunteer their time. However, we have match support specialists that support that. We have professionals that are always there for you for the matches to see how they're going, looking for child safety, to help if there's ever any communication issues, background checks, enrollment, interviewing to make sure we're making good matches, and that takes people.
Well, yes, there is still a lot of snow outside, and it is in the forecast for this weekend, but many are thinking ahead to spring, and their thoughts are concerned with what they can do to improve their home and its surroundings. The Interior Alaska Building Association will be hosting their annual home show beginning tonight and lasting through the weekend. The show will also have numerous classes and instructional opportunities to help the public become more educated on how to repair and furnish their homes.
Let's just go ahead and talk about everything that's going to be happening, what people can expect when they get here, and that's it.
Okay, are we ready? Do I need to do something?
Anytime we roll, ready to go.
Okay, here we are at the home show. We've got a really, really big show this year. We've actually the biggest show we've ever had. I've filled up the Pioneer Room, which is where we generally have the seminars. So we've got a whole new room with booths in it, 16 additional vendors. We're here tonight until 8 o'clock, Saturday 10 to 6, Sunday 11 to 5, $5 for adults, children 12 and under free. I think I have 163 different businesses this year, and as you can see, we've got a theme going on, Pirates of the Last Frontier. A lot of the...
All right, now the show will run until 8 p.m. and well, it's opening again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., running until 6 p.m. then, and wrapping up Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
I think you should bring a little parrot there on your shoulder.
That would work for the news team.
Oh,
absolutely.
maybe.
A patch for Daryl.
There you go.
All right.
Almost definitely.
How you doing?
Sports.
Yeah.
It's all about the madness. And a little gymnastics as well.
Oh.
Come on back, we'll talk about it. Sports is coming up next.
That's nice.
And welcome back, Interior Alaska. Daryl Lewis holding it down once again in the sports seat for Joe Cook on a Friday evening. Second day of competition at the ASAA State Basketball Championships, and more Interior teams falling out of the running for a title. Now, three-time Aurora Conference champion Hutchinson Lady Hawks, after winning over Thursday over the Houston Hawks, were back in action today, state semifinals, staring them in the face. Once again, their nemesis, the Barrow Lady Whalers, and 6'6" senior center Lynette Heppa. Lady Whalers have given Hutch fits for years, and this game was no different. Hutch gets double-figure scoring from 3A State Player of the Year Mimi Wood with 14, and sophomore Ellie Veazey chipped in with 10, but Heppa would give the Lady Hawks fits all day. 21 points, 11 boards. Couple that with an anemic Hutch showing from the field, 24% shooting for the game. That's not going to win you many games. Hutch gives a game performance, but it's not enough. They lose to Barrow. Final score, 55-37. Now, tough going also for the Lathrop girls in Class 4A action today as well. Lady Malamutes less than a day removed from beating up on Kodiak. They faced a Diamond Lady Lynx squad fresh off of a 1-point win against West Valley on Thursday. Lady Malamutes would find the going rough from the field this day as well. Seniors Jasmine White and Arisha Talley, who combined for 35 points on Thursday, held in check somewhat. Talley gets 15 points, while White gets 12 in their last games wearing purple and gold. Lathrop also got another monster game from 6'3" freshman Ruthie Hebert. Hebert 19 points, 16 boards for the Class 4A second team All-State selection. But Diamond, a much tougher nut to crack than Kodiak. Lady Lynx withstand a late rush by Lathrop and run away late. Final score, 67-51 Diamond. In consolation play from Anchorage, the Lathrop boys rebounded big from that 2-point heartbreaker against West Anchorage on Thursday. Malamutes shoot 58% from the field and got double-figure scoring from 4 people en route to a 62-39 thrashing of Diamond. And in girls action, the West Valley girls were shown the door, bounced out of the tournament, losing to Kodiak 63-54. In her final game, wearing Wolfpack red, white, and gold, Hannah Matson, 23 points, 11 rebounds. More basketball, the defending 3A state champion Monroe Catholic boys taking on always tough Grace Christian on Thursday. The Rams would get a combined 18 points from their 3 All-State guards, Scooter Bynum, Tyler Wells, and David Stepovich. And it still wouldn't matter. Cue sophomore guard Jalen McCullough. Now, baby boy picked up the veteran slack by nailing 5 3-pointers just like that. Playing just 17 minutes, his 21 points were instrumental in the Rams cruising to a 50-29 victory over the Grizzlies and propelling Monroe into the state semifinals, where they'll square off against the Bethel Warriors this evening. Shortly before they left town for Anchorage, we spoke to Monroe head coach Franco Stanek about his 4-headed guard attack. He says each one is just as lethal as the next.
No less than 4 guards who would start on most any team in the state. You know, we obviously we only start 3 of them, but all 4, including Jalen McCullough, would start on the majority of teams in this state. That's gives us great depth. It gives us great experience. We don't lose much at all when we sub. So we can play with all 4 of those guys on the floor at one time, which we may have to do this weekend. I got great confidence in those guys. They make me look very smart and very good at times. They're very good basketball players.
And switching sports, interior high school basketball players, not the only ones vying for honors in statewide competition. Local gymnasts are in the Mat-Su Valley plying their trade as well. The 2013 Alaska State Gymnastics meet got underway earlier today and runs through Saturday at Chugiak High School. The event hosted by Alaska Olympic Gymnastics, the parent company for Arctic Gymnastics. And despite the activity not being offered in area schools around town this year, the local Gymnastics Inc. sent a large number of performers down south with hopes of not only doing well, but bringing back hardware. Earlier this week, I spoke with coaches and players about the trip and the dedication shown to the sport.
So much. These girls have worked so hard. They work year-round. I've coached a lot of these girls since they were 3 years old, and to raise them and have them go down to state championships is always so fun, just to see how much their hard work is really paying off.
Isn't that something?
It is. It's really great.
Yeah. It means the world to me. It's been my life, honestly, forever, and I couldn't imagine my life without it. We're such a supportive team, and we hope the best for all of us, and we just go out there and give it everything we got.
Fairbanks Ice Dogs also in action. We'll have more on that tomorrow. And that's going to do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rolling with me for a spell. For more KTVF sports, log on to Twitter, YouTube, webcenter11.com, and also download our mobile app, whatever's your flavor. But for now, don't go anywhere because Mr. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast. He's next, and we'll see you.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again for a look at weather. And let's start off with a beautiful photograph sent in by one of our viewers. This one is by Bill Blizzard. What a great name for a weatherman. Two Rivers sunset, and again, the gorgeous colors. And if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. And Bill, think about becoming a weatherman. That's a great name for a weatherman. Here's what's going on at the airport. After a high of 30 degrees, that's what our high is currently, 30 degrees. The record high was in 1915, got up to 56 that day. Record low 37 below in 1918. Sunrise and sunset, well, that works out to 12 hours and 32 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Here's our satellite and radar. More moisture moving across. We were talking about it yesterday coming in from the southwest. Well, it has moved in across the south central sections. Some of it's trying to work its way up into our area, neck of the woods, but it looks like for the most part, the heaviest is going to remain to the south. In fact, Anchorage is looking for 2 to 4 inches of snow and a lot of snow in Valdez. We'll tell you more about that later on. Here's what's going on our local satellite and radar. Actually, our radar pictures, you zoom in around the Fairbanks area. There is some snow being reported around Minto and Manly, but for the most part, it's all staying away from Fairbanks right now. Okay, rest of the state looks like this. Again, not too bad. Some snow showers around the Anchorage Bowl area. Partly cloudy skies over southeast. Beautiful sunshine over the west and the northern parts of the state. Back to lower 48 now. We got a lot of weather to talk about tonight. Rain has moved back in over the Pacific Northwest. Big stormy conditions over the deep south, and a new storm developing around the Denver area promises to bring them 6 to 10 inches of snow by tomorrow. You can see it's starting to develop off the east range right now, and that's going to be a real weather maker. In fact, you can see all this Palm Sunday, we're looking at a lot of weather going on. Severe weather to the south and substantial snow to the north, and it's all once again being driven by the jet stream, as you can see diving down from the north and then splitting the country and helping to escort those storms right across with a lot of cold air over much of the country next week. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. We're looking at cloudy skies at Barrow, a few clouds for Nome, and some blowing snow in the Nome area. Actually, over the south central, as the interior sections, early snow should be ending at Fairbanks and Healy, and over southeast Alaska, we're looking at pretty good weather. Rain and snow for Ketchikan becoming partly cloudy in Juneau. Out to the southwest, we'll be looking at partly cloudy skies at Bethel, rain in Cold Bay, and rain and snow at Kodiak. And over south central regions, here's where the weather gets interesting. Partly cloudy at Homer, snow ending in Anchorage, but 6 to 10 inches of snow expected for Valdez, which will give them close to 2 feet over the last couple days. Okay, it is a Friday night. And we're taking a look at our forecast for tonight. 6 degrees for the overnight low. Increasing clouds with snow developing later on. Tomorrow's forecast calling for 11 degrees, cloudy with periods of snow ending. And our 5-day outlook looks pretty encouraging as temperatures will continue to be right around where they should be this time of year and get even warmer by Thursday. Looking at daytime highs, like I said, in the 20s, and overnight lows will be in the single digits above zero. And our next chance for any snow will be probably about Monday or Tuesday. And real quickly, looking at that winter trails report, I guess we're not going to have it. Okay, we'll go back to that 5-day outlook then. Okay. Anyway, that's our weather.
Are you playing tricks on us?
I am playing tricks.
What kind of tricks are you trying to play?
I was trying to get to our weather, our winter trails report, but what can I say? The weather's perfect for this weekend for all outdoor activities. So get out there, have a good time, just be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And thanks to Beaver Sports for that as well.
Exactly.
Too. Okay, that wraps up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we're glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, an important safety alert that may change the way you prepare for the possibility of a fire in your home. So stay tuned. That's next with Brian Williams.
And remember, for all your news, you can join us here 6 days a week or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
That will do it from all of us here at the News Center, leaving you tonight with more of that interesting video that's going on over at the Home Show tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. From all of us here, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here at 11.